Coach, you're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, as they match up with Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Steelers' all-time leading passer and two-time Super Bowl champ Ben Roethlisberger ready to lead this offensive unit. And he's led them since his rookie year all the way back in 2004.
Now, 180. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now this pass to Vance McDonald complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
In the center for Pittsburgh, Marquise Pouncey, one of the most physical and agile players at his position in the league. A 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro. He's the keystone of one of the top offensive lines in the league.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Out come the Ravens, led by the leading rusher amongst quarterbacks in 2018. In his second season now, Lamar Jackson. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They go to the former Saint, Mark Ingram. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the gun, it's Jackson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They've established themselves as a top 10 run-stopping unit in the NFL here in the early going. All signs point to me towards them continuing that throughout the season. They look pretty good, pretty darn cohesive to me.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You got 3 down.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught. It's Bryant, and it's a Steeler touchdown. Dez Bryant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Ingram. Ingram churning. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Running with the fullback, Alex Arma. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it. And on that play you did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. The numbers there for Connor in last week's game. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production. Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
White 80. Mike 49. I'm on. 36.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school. He fumbled 3 times in the first quarter. Finished with over 300 yards on the night. Later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
They'll run again with Samuels on first down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 36.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 more yards there and another first down.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 4 down.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. On the left side, it's McDonald. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
On first down, Conner. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
On 2nd down, it's Conner. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
That's how we do it, baby.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's 2nd and goal, but now all the way back at the 14. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's had just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Boswell's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A reminder about Sunday Night Football later tonight. It's a rematch from the divisional round last year. Colts and Chiefs from Arrowhead. Then tomorrow on Monday night, the Browns and 49ers from Levi's Stadium, with the Browns already playing their third primetime game in the season's first 5 weeks. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Automatic first down.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now it's Jackson. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here's Jackson to throw, and he's got Snead. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. And that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Jackson on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now out come the Steelers. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
that.
Super toe.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
They'll run on first down. Connor, a pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. From the 31, Roethlisberger, and the reception made by Dante Moncrief.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46, past the 20, 10, and he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably, your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. Tucker now for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Open man is Switzer, complete. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now Roethlisberger looking for Moncrief, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. What a break here. Turnover late in this first half, and now they're set up in field goal range already.
With a chance to get more. So what you're telling your unit as they go out onto the field is very simply this. We've got 3 in our hip pocket. Don't jeopardize that. Let's attack and go for the big one here. Let's go get 6 and give ourselves a chance to really feel good going into the half.
They go screen. This is Ingram. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and excited
rare.
is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in just a bit. But first, let's get everybody caught up with what's going on around the NFL here in Week 5. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, it's off to North Carolina to check on the Panthers at home in Charlotte. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. Christian McCaffrey, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Jared Goff, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
Flushed out right. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Marquise Brown, the rookie, his intended target, but it'll be second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's fourth down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's Switzer. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through picking up the first. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
230. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. Shit. Watch the shit.
Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley making it look easy, cruising in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Roethlisberger will hand the counter. And he'll get 2, maybe 3, up near the 37.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Ingram again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Jackson, options out left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Does the big boy have the juice? 20. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line.
I think what we just saw there with that fumble return is the increased emphasis on taking the ball away from another team. And no one wants to just fall on in football anymore, do they? They want to take it and try and score themselves.
But when you fall 1 yard short of getting in the end zone as a former defender, you know it hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Not only does it hurt, the laughter in film is going to be intense. You are going to get jumped on for not making it all the way to the end zone.
The defense gets in the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Following the fumble recovery, it's Roethlisberger to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target, but it'll be second and goal.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will level the playing field at 17 all. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
They try and run for this. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Roethlisberger now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he's got this down to the 35. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out in the running game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Right back to Connor here on first. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son, and then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
Roethlisberger now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Connor. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Black 20. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Big gap.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Roethlisberger. This one complete. Right side to McDonald. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with counter, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now.
We want it. Come to my world. Just
Again, it'll be counter. Pushing and fighting his way in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to take the lead. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Extra point now by Boswell. And they will take a 7-point lead now. A 10-play drive that time. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Jackson, option right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And this would have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself, and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and...
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Blue 30. Watch the
On first down, it's Connor. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give them a lot of confidence to help turn things around. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Here's Jackson. Well, correct me if I'm wrong. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 49 yards. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
On 2nd down now, it's Ingram. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Jackson. Now he's got it. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. They'll turn to Thompson. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL.
Got a man, it's caught. for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens draw a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
it doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Here's Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger will throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 53 yards. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Ready? 180. Clock, get done.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Pittsburgh, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the LA Chargers. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.